Guys, what's on your mind? What are you thinking about? What's the news? Rush Limbaugh died. That's a thing. Not really that sad about it. Kind of, my wife was expressing a little bit of like, geez, like people are really like crapping on him. I'm not into that. And I get the humanity of not wanting to, shame the dead or crap on the dead or piss on the grave and all that stuff. But you got to remember, Rush Limbaugh basically reveled in doing that every chance he got. He laughed at AIDS victims, laughed about them. I mean, he, and he also is responsible for conjuring up a lot of the vitriol and conspiracy mongering in the right, the Republican Party as we know it today. Vince Foster was a Bill Clinton staffer who shot himself. And, Rush Limbaugh and all his sycophants immediately spun it and like, what really happened? He was killed. What really happened? Was that kind of thing. Valor says, rest in piss, Rush. Yeah, and so for that reason, I don't really care. I don't really care if you want to say something about Rush Limbaugh. It doesn't bother me because, he really spawned a whole new generation of totally out there, just like Looney Tune batshit discourse. I mean, even during the Clinton years, like he famously called Chelsea Clinton like a pig or a dog when she was a kid. She's like, she's a teenager with braces and all this shit. Like it was just disturbing. Healing Vibrational Journey says, I agree with your wife. Yes, I understand that. Healing Vibrational Journey. We're all human beings. We're all, it's not fun or funny to laugh at death. It's something we're all destined for. So why would you crap on somebody for it? But I also don't. I'm not tripping over myself to scold anybody who wants to celebrate or dance on the grave of Rush Limbaugh, because he truly was a terrible person, vitriolic, hateful man. Donald Trump put the Presidential Medal of Freedom on him because in a real way, Donald Trump could never have happened if it weren't for Rush Limbaugh, right? We never would have, seen the ascendancy of a brash, loudmouth, sociopathic, inhuman president like Donald Trump, who, let's be real, oversaw the complete bungling and failing of a response to a preventable disease. And now hundreds of thousands of people are dead under his watch. J. Andrew World says, Rush wasn't human. Jesus. Let's see. Andy, no, I haven't heard of that. That book. Drew Rice says, fuck Rush. Now he is Hush Limbaugh. Yeah, I could scold you, but it's a lot of energy, bro. I don't know. Rush Limbaugh, he gave what's the word I'm looking for? He gave juice and energy to this brand of right-wing politics. It's hilarious to me anytime I hear someone on the right claim the left is divisive or the Democrats are divisive. The Democrats trip over themselves every step of the way to work with Republicans and make nice with the Republicans. And only until recently, after it all reached the logical progression of, like seditious, treasonous, murderous attack on the Capitol, on a on the transfer of power. We've no longer have had a totally peaceful transfer of power, right? I mean, the Civil War is an example of that not happening. But in the modern age, America has now not had a peaceful transfer of power thanks to this continually escalating rhetoric. If you want to use the frog in the pot metaphor, right, where you have slowly over time the vitriol and the hatred building and building and building and boiling and boiling, or building up to a boil. Rush Limbaugh is, he's the guy who helped strike the match. But there were many that followed. Michael Savage. I grew up hearing Michael Savage on the radio all the time, and Rush Limbaugh, but mostly Michael Savage. And just the kind of crazy vitriol, liberalism is a mental disorder. Michael Savage is very much just just a guy who came on after Rush Limbaugh before or whatever it was. I mean, there's a cruelty to it. There's a cruelty to it. And I hate to see that type of cruelty bleed over into the left and into the Democratic Party, and resistance liberals clowning on Texas, being like, well, Texas, that's why you shouldn't have voted for Republicans. That's idiotic, stupid, childish stuff, right? Don't do that. Don't be that way. People are dying. People are going through crazy stuff. Rush Limbaugh was a megalomaniac, mega rich, sociopath. Guy was sending out his cleaning lady to score him drugs, just all kinds of just wicked stuff he did personally to people, and then just led like a massive mob of hatred and slung it in whichever way, just towards women. He coined the term feminazi. There's just so much. He's a long history of hatred and vitriol, and that's why I'm not too broken up about it. It's we're all gonna die one day, and by his fruits ye shall know him. Right, this is the old saying from the Bible. J. Andrew World mentions this book, Border and Rule, is a book on neoliberalism and how that affects immigration. She had a great interview on the Red Nation podcast this week. I will check that out. There's so many books to read. Last thoughts on Rush Limbaugh. I mean, we even have local examples of this guy, right? Here in Santa Maria area, we have Andy Caldwell. Andy Caldwell show. I've done videos and reporting on Andy Caldwell before. I called into the Majority Report and mentioned Andy Caldwell. But you guys have to understand how much money there is for right-wing media when you have Rush Limbaugh, you have Michael Savage. This is how Sean Hannity got his start, was in radio. A lot of these guys on the conservative TV news also have radio shows. Hannity was actually at UC Santa Barbara, guys, if you didn't know that. Here in my county, Santa Barbara County, UCSB, that's where he got his start. I think he might even got kicked off of college radio for wanting to be like Rush, for being that kind of crazy and vitriolic. There's money for local versions of that too. Andy Caldwell, the local, just clone of Rush Limbaugh, and I mean he ran for Congress against Salud Carbajal here in our congressional district, and let me tell you something. His ads were all kinds of nutty, right? He was saying responding to Black Lives Matter, he was saying the only systemic racism that black people face is abortions, and just the globalists are trying to destroy the American family, and it's like he just held him back from putting the word white family in there, right? So he has gone full Trump. A lot of these guys were waiting for Trump. Trump was like the final flag at the NASCAR race to just let all the cars out and just let everybody let their right-wing freak flags fly, as it were. And you saw it in Rush Limbaugh. I saw it in when I was at the newspaper, local Republicans who I had seen sending in letters to the editor for years and years, to see their rhetoric escalate and become even more harsh and pointed and vitriolic, attacking the media, attacking immigrants. They were no longer afraid to anymore. But Rush Limbaugh, took the veneer off of that a long time ago, but then Donald Trump really just opened the floodgates of it. And I don't, he's gone. I don't think he, whatever, I'm not broken up about it. Not gonna cry a single tear. It's basically how I feel about that.